Hey there, Dr. Angela Lauria from the Author Incubator. So excited today to be joined by best-selling author Renee Brown-Small. Renee, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Angela.
So Renee is the author of Magnetic Hiring, your company's secret weapon to attracting top cybersecurity talent. So Renee, I'm so fascinated by this topic because cybersecurity talent is among the most coveted talent that's not just recruiting, but it's a very specific type of recruiting. And the news this week is I think there are a lot more people who are going to need this book because we are just blowing up with the need for great cybersecurity talent. So tell us about this book and how you came to write it.
Yes. So this book is for corporate recruiters, helping them find and get and grow their own cybersecurity talent. And I got to this point because I was in that same position. So I had built out a couple of cybersecurity departments in Fortune 100 companies, and I wanted to provide recruiters with the same all the struggles that they had and they went through. I wanted to provide them with solutions for those.
So let's talk a little about your career for a minute. When you started as a recruiter, did you immediately specialize in cybersecurity talent?
No. So I struggled. I was a technology recruiter for about 15 years, and I had never experienced anything like trying to recruit cybersecurity talent, especially at the time it was in the Washington, D.C. metro area, which is pretty much the #1 place for cybersecurity folks. And I struggled. I mean, I was up late nights. I couldn't figure it out. There was the talent. It's just a 0% unemployment market in this space.
By the way, if you need a job, you might want to think about getting into cybersecurity.
I keep telling people, go into that field because it's wide open. Wow. Right now, there are over 1 million open positions worldwide that are unfilled. It's supposed to grow to 6 million by 2020 worldwide. So it's just a very, very
So is the only way to recruit cybersecurity talent to take someone who is in a position and move them into another position?
That's one way. Mm-hmm. That is one way. There are multiple ways, and that's what I go through, what some of the challenges I had, and go through figuring out which way is best for your company. Because in certain companies, yes, you need someone that's really experienced, but then in other companies, you don't need a super experienced person or a very technical person to come into one of those roles.
I want to understand why you call your book Magnetic Hiring. What's the magnetic piece?
Yes. So
that sounds really good to me. I have 2 open roles. Neither of them are cybersecurity, but I would like the right candidates to be attracted to me. Yes. How do we do that?
That's exactly why we named the book Magnetic Hiring, because we want you to be able to attract the right talent. And the book, inside the book, it tells you how easy and seamless it can be to attract this difficult talent that, I struggle with, and I used to struggle with, and other recruiters are struggling to find now.
So when we're talking about recruiters, are you talking about as a company partnering with a recruiting firm? Are you talking about an in-house recruiting effort as part of an HR department?
Exactly, part of an HR department. So an in-house typically corporate recruiting department that has, a talent acquisition director or a TA director or recruiting director or an HR manager, and then recruiters underneath. And then sometimes HR managers are doing a bunch of different things. They're doing hiring and they're doing other HR related stuff. Right. So it's for them as well.
So I have to imagine if you're in that role, you're part of that company, you want to do a good job. Like, no one takes a job and they're like, well, I hope I don't place anyone in these roles. But there are some obvious mistakes that you see over and over again that well-meaning, smart people who are committed to doing a great job for their company make. Does anything stand out as a mistake you could share that you see out there a lot?
Yes. So the number one mistake I made, and I see people make it a lot, is trying to hire cybersecurity talent like any other technology talent. And the way the recruiting process is set up for hiring regular, like a project manager or, you know, a Java developer, for example, you pretty much have to flip it on its head. It's not the way you would typically hire a tech talent person. These are the rock stars of security, so you kind of have to hire them like a rock star.
Wow. What's a tip or a piece of advice that you could give them, knowing how tricky it is to flip it on its head like that?
So,
other than to hire you.
right.
Top tip, hire me, I'll tell you how to do it.
Exactly. One good tip is don't start with the job description.
Brilliant.
So people typically would start with a job description, and you want to go beyond that. You know, it's not just a piece of paper. It's really digging into what a company's whole entire package versus just that, you know, job description.
Here are the tasks you will be doing.
Exactly.
I think we can get so focused, especially with our HR professionals, on transactional. Like, here are all the transactional things I need to happen.
Right.
And there's so much more than just here are the tasks that need to be accomplished.
Exactly.
Well, there is a lot more in Renee Brown Small's book, Magnetic Hiring, Your Company's Secret Weapon to Attracting Top Cybersecurity Talent. I know they can find your book, Renee, on Amazon. How else can they find you?
They can email me directly at renee@cyberhc.com, and I'll spell that out.
CyberHC, like cyber.
Cyber Human Capital. So cyberhc.com.
Got it. All right. Well, you can find Renee at CyberHC, and you can find her book, Magnetic Hiring, at Amazon.com. Thanks for joining us, Renee, and
Thank you for
congrats on
having me.
becoming a best-selling author.
Exciting.
Good job.